I make it under.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the December 5th, 2024 last meeting of the year for the Police and Public Safety Committee. I'm going to begin by taking attendance at Councilman Brennan, Supervisor Aaron Cassidy-Dorian, myself. I have Lieutenant Todd Frenier, Attorney Finnan, PBA Representative David Powell. I have our new comptroller, Ms. Kara Parks. Welcome. We have Assistant Comptroller, Ms. Janet Nguyen. Then I have two residents. I have Ms. Paula Keefe and Mr. Michael Clapp. We're not going to be adopting the minutes for the past two meetings. Remain unadopted. Didn't have anything operationally to speak about specifically, so we're going to move right into fleet and equipment. We are going to be pushing out a ballistic vest purchase at the end of the year, which is going to need finance approval. It's 6 vests for 6 of our members, totaling $7,177.32. The good news is we got our first reimbursement from the Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Grant.
Which is great because it's a reimbursement, but we already put that in.
Yeah, I think it was just over $2,000 that we got from the last round of vests that we purchased. So that's
Oh, it
awesome.
was from the last round, but I thought maybe it was from this round.
Also under fleet and equipment, we're going to be putting out our vehicle maintenance bid. It expires the end of February, March 1st, actually, of 2025. So I sent that over to Finnan to start reviewing and working on. I don't have anything under building if anybody else does. Under training, Detectives Daly and Munger will be attending the child forensic interview training at the Child Advocacy Center, December 12th of 2024. Citizen correspondence. We had some folks reach out to us about Banker Ave and North Ravine with regards to stop signs and speeding over there. I had the pleasure of speaking to one of the residents actually at the senior center, and it seems like the concern is actually the traffic on the road to Banker Ave. So we put our traffic trailer, adjusted it to that location to see if we get some data over there. There are some stop signs that exist over there that we're not quite sure were not adopted in the town code at some point. And there's also a speed limit sign with a no outlet sign that was sort of a legacy sign that was there when there wasn't actually a road. So we're going to be working on cleaning that area up. And at this point, I'm just going to be waiting for the data on Ravine Road, and then we can at least address whether or not there's some speed concerns going on over there, and then we'll look at the stops and the other signage. Ms. Paula Keefe is here. She was here with a friend of hers, a resident, about Onondaga Road and Troy Schenectady Road and the parking. There's some concerns because it's sort of a unique area. If you'll recall, we talked about there's a mobile there on the corner of Onondaga and Route 7, and there's also another business that we all still refer to as Berkshire Hathaway. I don't think there's anything currently there. It's getting transitioned into something else. But there is sort of a section of the road just past Ms. Keefe's house where there tends to be people parking, and sometimes it can give limited view and obstruction over as we're turning onto a very busy road on Route 7. So I did speak with town planner Laura Robertson today. She's in agreement that we think that we should do probably a 200 feet is probably the approximate distance to the driveway, and do from the driveway on Onondaga south to Route 7 on both sides of the road as being just a no parking zone in general. She did state that if we needed planning and zoning committee? What's the official title? Planning board. If we needed them to do some sort of letter of recommendation, they would be more than willing to do that, but it would probably, because of where they're at in the process, take a couple of months. I don't know that we need that.
We didn't do that for.
Yeah. And we don't need it, but she offered it if we did because she think it would be in favor based on all the changes that are going on. So it's just something we're going to have to work on language or measure out.
Okay.
I didn't have any new citizen correspondence. I don't know if anybody else had anything else they wanted to add under this at this point.
The only thing I wanted to add was something we already talked about. I got a call from a woman who lives in Iroquois Village off of Alice Wagner Way, who had some concerns about a large dump truck and a truck with a very large trailer parking overnight which is not allowed after November 1st on any of our town roads. So she was checking to make sure that was actually a public road and asking for some more patrols to try to encourage them not to park on the road there. Not only would it hinder snow plowing on the road, but there's a lot of senior citizens that live in Iroquois Village, and the lighting is not great on the road, and they're finding it tricky. It gets dark so early, having trouble getting down the road and feeling nervous when there's cars parked there, the way that the road is shaped. And she also inquired about a speed limit sign, which I talked to Highway about. I thought that we had to get a resolution because it wasn't in the original plans for that Alice Wagner Way, but it turns out we don't. And Ray seems to think that he would have no trouble finding a sign to put up on one of the.
Awesome.
To clarify, there's a speed, but there's just no speed limit
Right.
sign, and that, so it's just to put up a
It's
sign that
just
was
a-
never put up.
It's a
Yeah.
town, it is a town.
Right.
I'll be completely honest with you, when police officers drive around and they see entrance and exit points to apartment complexes, they wouldn't traditionally think that it was a town.
Right.
And then once it was identified, we went over and definitely addressed it
Yes,
with some.
we're just trying to very kindly encourage them not to park on the road.
And I
Reminding them.
also contacted their management group and made them aware of it as well, so.
They were really helpful.
Did anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I do. My name's Mike. Chief, you and I have had several discussions about speeding in this unit. You once said, like, more than once, that 33 miles an hour is acceptable, correct?
I never said those exact words. No.
What did you say then?
Because
We have no minutes of any meetings we have, so nobody can go back. I'm not a familiar person with the computer. I know how to get on it, go on Farm and Country, and that's about it. I know you've said that 33 miles an hour is acceptable.
Is
this Now-
on Council Road or in general?
Doesn't matter. It seems to be every road that he deals with, 33 miles an hour is acceptable.
I've never said that specifically, Mike. I think
Sure.
we had a conversation. Do you want to answer it?
Not right now, because do I have to go back and show you what was said?
Mike, we've had multiple conversations about console with regards to 33 miles an hour. I said that it was within acceptable limits in terms of the fact that when we go out and go to enforce traffic, more likely than not, we're not going to be stopping a vehicle that's doing 30.
So it's 33 miles an hour is acceptable.
Speeding up. We don't want people speeding up.
You said it. Now I'm gonna ask you again.
Do you have business about Council Road that we need to discuss? Because we need to
Yes.
focus and move it on.
Yeah, so Mr. Platt, at this point, the town of Niskuna has spent excessive resources and time and energy on Council Road. We have heard your concerns repeatedly, and we will continue to hear any new concerns, but until that point, we are closing conversation regarding Council Road at this committee meeting.
No, I'm not worried about
Nope, that's.
that. What are these meetings for?
We are done talking about it,
No, we're not.
about town business, and.
This is town business. I live on
We are
Council
closing-
Road.
We are closing town business.
No, we're not, because unless I start getting some answers.
Mr. Clapp, I think what we're trying to say is that you came in with a request months ago. We went through exhaustive resources. We are operating within the policies and the limits that we have as a town.
What are
And we
the
have-
policies and limits? I'm not,
Finish
oh,
my-
sorry.
We have a lot of things that need to be taken care of. And I understand that Council Road is very important to you. And I'm not saying that it is not an important issue. I'm saying we have a lot of important issues that we have to talk about, and it's becoming disruptive.
Only until something gets straightened out.
And I encourage you to find another avenue, because we went down all of the roads, no pun intended, that we could. And we're trying to tell you that we understand that you disagree with where we landed, but we can't keep continuing to have the same conversation month after.
Then why can't something be done?
I,
You keep saying these, you said that you have some new and innovative ideas that
what I
would,
said was that I wanted to try to find some creative ways to address your concerns. I did not say it had anything to do with the speed limit.
I didn't say that. I said you haven't, what are they? What are your new innovative, creative ideas?
I said that's what we were looking into.
And the town planner spoke to you after the last
Yes.
meeting.
Yes,
Hang on, let me finish, because you keep cutting off. The town planner spoke to you after the last meeting. She gave you information. I spoke with her about it today. You have not contacted her, and she had several things that she wanted to discuss with you that were creative, different ideas to include complete streets. So we would advise you to follow back up with her.
I talked to her and she said that she has nothing to do with any speed ordinances in the town of Niskiuna. Her thing would be is if it's a new road, then we could do something, they could do something about the speeding. If there was a old road doing new construction, they would be able to do something about the speeding. But being it's an old road, there's nothing that the town board can do or the town,
She can help you look into traffic calming measures. She's not gonna look at speed limits with you. And that's your option right now if you'd like to contact her. But other than that, this conversation is constructive to the committee and it is not going to.
Then what is this committee for?
But we've
You
gone
have-
through
This
this.
is the time to ask that.
We're not, every time we come up with something, you tell me to back off. I'm not trying to find out. He said 33 miles an hour is acceptable. I want to know what isn't acceptable.
I would be happy to send you the links to the meetings. They're all on YouTube. I think I know what you're referencing. That is not what he stated. He was talking about an equation that a lot of traffic engineers use in order to figure out what a safe speed limit is. And what they determined was that people can drive safely on Consell Road at a higher speed limit. That's what he was trying to
Detective Munger was specifically using a worksheet
yeah.
from the federal DOT, and our town planner seconded that conversation and actually said openly and publicly that she believes that, and I don't want to quote her, but the speed limit is artificially too low. And that's part of the ongoing concern, is that the road's unique. That's why we've done so much work on it. That's why we continue to engage. You're asking for a solution. We can patrol it. That's what we're doing. Then we can direct you back to Complete Streets to do traffic calming.
And
Right.
Complete Streets is a good committee to go to. They have a lot of
Who is it?
innovative. So Complete Streets is a committee that meets once a month and I,
Here,
yep, right here. And it's all town residents. They have dealt with issues like this in the past. And they'll have things other than changing the speed limit that we might be able to do to address the concern. I guess more what we're saying is that this committee only has a certain scope and it's not traffic calming measures, not in that sense.
it's police and public safety, correct?
Yes,
All
but
right,
we've
now,
gone through.
with that said, you said that because of there weren't that many accidents and there weren't that many injuries, that is gonna stay the way it is. Now, which one of you here want to be one of the statistics that is injured on Console Road? I don't.
At this time, I'd like the committee to move on to the next agenda item, which is calendar time. Please continue.
I'm sorry, but if this committee is for safety, does anyone here know what safety means?
Mr. Clark, we can't keep doing this.
Well, I'm asking.
We have to stop.
You can't give me any
We
information.
have.
What does safety mean?
We're not going there, Mr. Clark.
Why not?
Because we're not doing this.
Why?
Because you're trying to antagonize and.
I'm not
disrupt.
trying to
We're not
antagonize. I'm
We're gonna
trying
move
to
on.
get
The
some,
chair has asked us to move on, so we're gonna move on.
I'm asking.
You can follow up with an email to us. Thank you.
Then you
Under
guys
town,
don't
under
get
town
back.
events, Coffee with a Cop. Senior Center Chief Koshan will be hosting this third Tuesday monthly. Coffee with a Cop at Target. On December 19th, from 12 to 2 p.m., we will be conducting another Coffee with a Cop program. They're going exceptionally well. Our 2024 Holiday Parade with Santa is on December 15th at 10 a.m. Just, you want to speak about that?
Parade with a special focus on supporting our Niskuna students and families during the holidays, with a specific focus on our middle school and high school students, who it's harder to collect gifts for because they don't necessarily need toys. At 9 o'clock, but I should say this is all hosted by, Fire District 1 and Nisku Police Department supporting, of course. From 9 to 10, the Community Foundation will be here donating hot cocoa and pouring hot cocoa for anyone. Santa will be here, thanks to Fire District 1, to take free pictures. And
I adore you, thank you.
and Then at 10, the parade will start, it's on the right line, and then around noonish, it should finish up around the co-op, and the co-op is also donating cookies and hot cocoa. And Niskayuna Youth Softball will be giving, handing out the cookies and the cocoa, and again, Santa will be there for pictures. I heard the Grinch might make an appearance, just to warn everyone,
Excellent.
so we're excited.
And what did you say they were collecting?
Well, we're looking for gifts that middle school and high schoolers
Okay.
might.
But like what?
Exactly, that's the problem, right? They're very hard to shop for, so.
Unwrapped.
Yeah.
Well, because I told Chief Enna that I would donate some wrapping paper and have that in the office.
Thinking
I
Nike
was expecting
socks,
him to be here.
Yes.
So Nike socks, white ones.
right? I don't know, I'm buying so many.
Everybody has it.
Gift cards are also helpful, so you can kind of go shopping. Teenagers like the. She's king.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Any makeup, anything creative that you can think of that maybe.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
We have a great time doing it. Everybody comes out and no one has said anything about it at all. We're gonna continue to do it for as long as we can. Dress warm because it's already cold out, but we will be here with our bells and whistles on, so.
To wear bells?
Yes, you
We'll
do.
wear bells and whistles. So.
It's a requirement.
Under town clerk, we still have the peddling and soliciting / no soliciting registry, and we're still working on that with town attorney Finney.
I was hoping to have it ready for this meeting, so hopefully it's just really, really crazy in my department right now. So if I can have it ready for finance, I will, but if not, it might have to be pushed to January because we have, our meeting this month is a little bit earlier than, a week earlier than usual.
So do you want us to put it as tentative on finance?
It's probably not gonna be, because Michelle's out.
Yeah.
That's true, Michelle's out, so
Yeah.
yeah. We'll just say probably introduce in January at this committee meeting and then we can call for a public hearing maybe at the organizational meeting and have the public hearing at the end of January for possible adoption at that meeting as well.
You're up again under court and town attorney. Is there any updates you want to give on the?
No cases, knock on wood. Bus patrol hearings, I think I got about 30 trials on Monday. And then 2 or 3 other dates of about 30 trials each scheduled.
Oh, my goodness.
Mhm.
Because people aren't learning.
What was
Busy,
that?
busy.
No vacation.
Didn't get anything under the fire department. Under the school district, we still have the school speed zones. The Rosendale one specifically is the one we gotta focus on. All we need to do, I've never done a school speed zone as far as a public hearing before.
Yeah.
It's just a measurement. It's basically a distance on Rosendale Road that's gonna encompass those 2 campuses, entrance and exit points. And I did a map and I kind of pinned it just to see where it is. But I want to talk to Ray about it to make sure, because he's probably done this before.
Do we have to go through the county?
They're in support, I've already spoken.
Okay.
The
then they're-
county's
okay.
absolutely.
I was gonna
support.
say they're coming in next week.
Yes, but it would be good to reiterate again.
Okay.
So. Under personnel, we're reviewing lateral candidates. Unfortunately, there weren't any candidates that we're gonna move forward for off the current police list. The new police list should be certified and back to us sometime in January. But the current one, there are no candidates that we're gonna move forward with at this time. Also, a happy note for him, but a sad note for us. Sergeant Jeffrey Relation is gonna be retiring. I just want to speak about Jeff real quick publicly. Jeff was hired in 2000 at our department. He's worked all of our shifts to include some great years that I had with him on midnights. When I was a young police officer, Jeff and I were partnered together on midnights, and there were a lot of times when we had some good laughs and did some good work together. He was promoted to the rank of sergeant December of 2021, and most recently was assigned to the traffic and community engagement division, where he has spearheaded the implementation of our bus patrol program. Jeff has helped build that basically from the ground up with me, as well as expanded our Coffee with a Cop program and our Cops and Kids reading program. Jeff is a focal point at all of the elementary schools where all of the kids ask if Officer Jeff is working, which is pretty cool. Jeff is a consummate professional, and his outstanding service and dedication are a testament to his character as a person and as a police officer. Our community has benefited greatly from his service, as Jeff is truly a community first-based police officer. Jeff loves his town. He has served his community for 25 years faithfully, and I want to congratulate him on his service and wish him well in his retirement. So thanks, Jeff, for everything he's done. We're going to do a pipe out ceremony. I anticipate it being December 20th, sometime in the afternoon after the holiday party. Yes.
Okay.
What is that?
What
A
is it?
piping out ceremony? A walking out ceremony? He's retiring?
Oh, bagpipes? you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
missing.
I'll let everybody know, as we get closer, I'll send out an email for Jeff, but I just want to make sure we said some good words about him.
I tried to talk him out of it.
I did too. I did too. It's hard because
It's a big loss.
every retirement, is different and hits differently. Jeff and I have been together for a long time and I appreciate everything Jeff's done for our agency, so.
You have to tell the kids, I'm not telling them.
He likes going to Ohio.
That's good, Jeff. Okay, so with Jeff's retirement, we are going to be promoting a sergeant. We did convene a panel to interview the 3 potential candidates from the civil service list. And I am happy to tell the committee that we're going to be looking to move forward with a recommendation to promote. He's currently a detective, which is an assignment. It's Officer Hashem Kafaga to the position of sergeant. So I would like to do that for this December meeting because with all of our collective bargaining agreements, we have bids and the January 1st movement is really necessary so that we can just have a clean start from that moment moving forward. I did talk to Elena. I don't know when the last payroll period of December ends, Janet.
So we're not doing that ending at 12/31, paying everybody out through 12/31 for the 2 days and then doing the 8-day period in January anymore, because now we're paying on a lag. So December 27th is the final payroll in December for the 2 weeks prior, and then the next payroll will be January.
So
when
catch up.
would he start
So
December
do we want
28th
him,
or?
for payroll purposes, do we want him to be for the 20th?
Whatever
or
your
does
department
it-
needs, I will
Yeah.
make it work.
Okay.
How's that?
Let's just do it.
About that, Janet.
Immediately.
And they-
We'll make it
Or the-
happen.
Jeff is gone. Jeff is not
Yeah.
physically here, so
Right.
if we can do it effective immediately, we get it.
Yeah, so do it the day after the meeting.
Okay, so then I just won't put a date in the resolution because that's effective immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Date.
And the meeting we decided was what, the 7th, so it's gonna be effective
17th.
12/18. I was just gonna do the resolution for you. You're gonna do it, and
Oh, it doesn't matter.
one of us will do it.
Under other, we have the Town of Niskuna, I said even, it's supposed to be event application, with town code road closure changes. Aaron, do you want to speak about this just real briefly?
Yeah, so this was a hot topic over the summer. So we had the impending marathon. And we don't have great policies about, sort of governing road closures and events that happen in the streets and, sort of the authority of the police department to do what they need to do. So we borrowed some language from other area municipalities that have event applications, keeping ours relatively basic because we obviously don't have a ton of, we're not at the city level where there's events all the time. So we have an application with that's sort of spelled out. We're trying to integrate that into our ML schedules. Reason being is why introduce another form of application. So it'd be almost like they'd be reserving space through a custom form in ML schedules. So it'll be sort of a kind of like partnership between community programs, which would be receiving the application. And then we would need to decide who gets the permission, so to speak. So it would obviously go to the police department. I think in some cases, probably Elena would want to review, depending on, the type of event that it is, the town clerk, in case there are other types of permits or things that need to be followed up on. So we're sort of working through the different categories of possible events so that we make sure that all the permissions and everyone that needs to review the event is there.
Open the door.
As a follow-up to that, we also are going to need some language about actually closing. Come on.
So
kid.
just, we have a provision in the code right now for block parties. I just want to make sure once we do this that maybe they're nearly identical. You know what I mean? It's like a
That's
same
fine with
process.
me.
I don't want to have different processes.
It's going to be the
What
same
I sent you-
process.
What I sent you both was Rotterdam's, and I don't know that
Yes.
it's perfect, but it does encompass the block party, so I don't know if we want to just remove block parties and
Potentially, we
insert.
could do that too.
Okay,
That might be a little
Or maybe
easier.
we don't remove the block parties, we just amend that to encompass, same idea, but that might be easier than. about like abolishing one and adding another one, it's just to amend it.
Yeah,
Um,
so we could bring that for January's committee meeting to look at, maybe? If it's not
Let's
too.
do February.
Oh, 'cause you have the other
That one's been done for a while, so I want to.
Anything in the meantime anyway, because it'll be winter, so we may as well push it. But that will be good to have that kind of like buttoned up, because I feel like we talk about it all the time.
Also under other, I have a tuition reimbursement for Officer Breslin. We have to approve these in advance of the course. The course is gonna be coming up in, I believe it's the, January, February timeframe for his college course. It's just continuing on its, Sage Graduate School for Counseling. He's trying to become a certified mental health counselor, which we have been supporting him along the way. Obviously, this is collective bargaining that we support these things as well. I thought we decided on a process because the total is $2,400.
You know what my first question is gonna be?
What's that?
Do we have it in the budget?
So it's not for this year, it's for
No, I
next year,
know.
and we do, we
Okay.
do. And I've talked to Derek
Yeah.
extensively about the limitations of that training budget,
That's.
right? I've talked to him about that, but, I think we decided on a process because we used to do it through resolution, just to go to finance. And that was kind of the way it was left with Beth, and I think we did the previous two times where we brought it up in committee. If there were any questions, we brought it to finance voted on it, and then we kind of moved on with it.
I think we should still do that process. I mean, for that amount of money, when we
I
start
think it's
talking
fine. You don't need a real
$4,000 or
resolution.
more, I feel.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we need a
approval.
resolution. I think it's just a discussion of finance.
And then the last thing I have that I just really just got yesterday, after I put this out, was Susquehanna SPCA. There are triple backup to Montgomery County and the Glenville APF regarding if we needed to have animals housed that are stray animals or otherwise. And I was speaking with town attorney Finnan before the meeting. It's never a bad idea to have too many options because we've seen past where we had no options. And we were walking dogs ourselves, down. It's, when I say it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. It's not.
Yeah,
So from my standpoint, this one doesn't require like a retainer where we pay, thousands of dollars on an, as used basis. So I think we just have it as continue to have it as backup as long as they're willing to continue with it.
yes.
So did our agreement expired with them and we need to renew
It,
that?
it expires at the end of this year, yes.
So resolution to renew.
You have a copy of that? Can you just scan it?
But I can scan it, send it to you.
Perfect.
Yes.
Let's just pay for a dog.
Yes. But we have never driven out there at this point, but
Didn't we almost?
We
I
did.
think, yeah.
it's like 2+.
I think.
You let me, but there were literally days where there were dogs in cages.
Schenectady.
Can anybody take up?
Has their own kennel down off of Anthony Street, and when I say I was walking dogs, just going down with my children walking dogs, because we had
They're
nowhere,
just hanging out.
we just had nowhere to take them. There was no, so, but we got through it, and thank you to Sandy for allowing us to get through it, because that was incredible assistance on their part. Okay, so under resolutions, we got their resolution. I had a resolution to appoint a police officer lieutenant. I'm gonna take that off because that's definitely not gonna happen this month. The resolution to appoint a sergeant, and then we have the resolution to renew the Susquehanna agreement.
It's cute that you put that tentative one on every month though.
Hopeful thinking.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, Ray does too. I think we're all doing it.
If you will it, it will be, right? Okay, I just need a motion to adjourn. A second,
Second.
and with that, we're gonna conclude. All those in favor? We're gonna conclude this. We will see everybody in the new year on January.
Oh, please don't.
Oh, my.
I'm the PBA president. I'm the PBA president. I've sat across on it a month, actually.
You guys, any Richie Barker?
Uh,